Welcome to Kempner Sports. My name is Rev Trev, and I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're a Canucks fan or a fan of the NHL, welcome to the channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about Anthony Beauvillier, and that he's been a beauty for us so far. And I want to talk about that because it seems like he's the forgotten guy in this trade. And now we've seen him for 4 games, and he's been quite effective so far. He's got 2 more points today against the, who do we play today? Oh, the Detroit Red Wings. Got an assist on the Pettersson goal, scored on the power play, and then also scored the game winner against his Islanders, which I definitely think he just totally got up for. Him and Bo were totally great in those games. Fun to watch, and fun to watch him get the game winner against his former team just a few nights later. Okay, so if you don't know, I love to do Canucks content that is passionate, that is realistic, and that is honest. So if you like that kind of stuff, please hit that like and subscribe button. So let's talk about Anthony Beauvillier for a moment, because in that trade for Bo Horvat, Canucks fans were sad because we kind of still had the dream that Bo was going to stay. We were going to be able to sign for a decent amount of money, but he got $8.5 million for 8 years. Congrats, Bo. Well done, man. That's huge money. Apparently, Vancouver has offered him about 7 to 7.5, and he didn't want that. He wanted the extra $1 million and wanted to go somewhere else. And anyways, long story to say, we only were talking about even though we got a player, a prospect, and a pick, we were talking about that first round pick being protected, getting in either this year or next year. I'm happy with either way, how it pans out. And then Ratu, the 20-year-old Finnish World Junior phenom forward, centerman, everyone was talking about those 2 things, the pick and the prospect. And rightfully so. Like, Ratu has seemed to fit in quite well, and Abbotsford is getting developed there. There's lots of promise and hope for them, because they're saying who won the trade, and they're really thinking those are the 2 pieces. But no one's talking about Anthony Beauvillier. And as I just mentioned, he's actually had a really good start. Now, granted, he's played on the top line with Pettersson and Kuzmensko. I always get his name, so Kuz. So, anyways, that has been the top line. Now, Kuz has been dropped to the 3rd line. Tocchet's been mad at him, and today it was Beauvillier on the left, because he's been playing right, and Pettersson and Brock Besser. Now, this has been interesting. So let before we get into that, into the lines, because that's a really good option. Like, how did he get inserted into the first line right away? That was something that was surprising to me. But if you look at it, his stats, so being drafted 28th overall in 2015, only 25 years old, but these are his numbers, and I'll just throw them up on the screen somewhere. I'll throw them up here, okay? So his rookie season, he only had 24 points in 66 games, but in his second year, he got 21 goals in 71 games, but 36 points. Now, so they must, as Islander fans, they must have been excited about that. The next year, he played 81 at 10 more games and only scored 18 goals, only ended up with 28 points. And then 68 games, 39 points, still had 18 goals. And then now we're talking about 47 games in the shortened season for him, 28 points, 15 goals, that's still decent. But 75 games the following year, only 12 goals, 34 points total. Now, going to this year, he's played 49 games. He's only got 20 points, and it's 9 goals, I believe, and 11 assists. I don't know if they counted today's stuff. So that doesn't look promising. And this is why the $4.1 million was as a salary dump for them. Is he going to be effective? Well, so far, he's been effective for us. Now, again, going back to he's playing on the top line, he's looked like a beauty, right? Like, he looks like he's a guy that's going to contribute. Now, worst case scenario, he's going to drop onto the second line, but so that's Miller and Garland. But I personally like Podkolzin there, so I really want to keep Beauvillier on that top line. Whether it's Brock or Kuz, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to see him up there with Pettersson. And a lot of people have been commenting how good they look together. Now, Brock said today in an interview, or yesterday, the day before, that he loves playing with Pettersson. Like, he's the difference maker, and he makes everyone around him better. So part of it is I don't think this guy is going to be scoring 40 goals anytime soon. But if we can get him at a 25 to 30 goals a season, that would be really impressive. He's gritty. He's strong on the puck. He works hard. That is one thing I've been impressed by him so far. So we're gonna have to see how it works out. So the big question really comes down to: is it that the Islanders is just a massive lead defensive team with a defensive scheme, or is it Bo just a defensive forward and just not that skilled? He's not lived up to the hype. So that is the big question that's going to be answered. I would love to hear what you think about Bo and his arrival to Vancouver. So playing with Pettersson, playing with on that top line, his production so far. But what do you think he is? Do you think he's a defensive player? Do you think he's more of an offensive player than we've seen? Do you think he's just a gritty player, or do you think he was just in a defensive scheme for way too long, and now we're going to see the real Anthony Beauvillier blossom and become the player that he was drafted for as a first rounder? So love to hear your thoughts. Again, like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. And always, of course, go Canucks, go.